The first is a little potato ball soup. And you have to start out with grating some Parmigiano Reggiano because this season is all about Emilia-Romagna. So I have a half a cup of grated Parmigiano, and I'm just going to set that aside. Now the potato I like to use, as I was telling you in the garden, are these wonderful Yukon Golds. This is a nice, waxy, starchy potato, and it's going to hold it beautifully in this soup. So after you have cooked the potatoes, and here are my potatoes all peeled and cooked, you want to get out your trusty little ricer because you don't want to do this in a food processor. A food processor is just going to make the potatoes too mushy and gummy, and you're going to break down the gluten. So I like to do this either by hand with a potato masher or with a ricer. So cut the potatoes up so they fit into your ricer, and then you simply put them in a little bit at a time. And this is the fun part. You rice them. See, just like this. And this is a great workout for your arms if you have nothing else to do that day. So you need about, 2 pounds of potatoes. And you know, when I cook these, I like to do them in the microwave. If I do them in the microwave, they stay a bit drier. I don't want all that extra water. And we're going to make very small little potato balls. So you want about, 2 pounds of potatoes. And I'm going to rice up just a couple more pieces here because I think we have enough. And I had about 5 tablespoons of butter. That looks great. So now we can get rid of this. And then with that, I'm going to add my cheese. So there's my half a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano. And now we want 2 egg yolks to bind this together. So I use my little egg separator. And then we want to give this some salt. Not too much because you've got the salt in the cheese. A pinch of pepper and a nice grating of nutmeg. And that's all there is to that. Now you want to mix this up. Get a spoon. And then you have to get your hands into this because we have to make those little balls. And for that, we want to put this into some flour. So while you're doing this, you want to heat up some vegetable oil. So get the mixture well mixed, and you see how nice and dry that is. And then what you have to do is coat them in flour. Now you can make these marble size, you could make them the size of a nut, whatever you would like. So here is my flour, and all you do is take a little bit with your hand. You see, let's make small size ones, and gently roll them under the palm of your hand, and then dip them, taking off that excess flour. You see, you don't want too much flour on there. I should mention that you should have either some fresh chicken broth, or I like capon broth to do this in, but either one will be just fine. And here's our last one. And I want to put the balls in very carefully because you want your oil to be at 375 degrees. And the best way to do that is to either have a thermometer or to test one. And if it bobs right to the top, you know that the oil is just right, and that's looking good. So you want to get them in the oil, and now watch them. Watch them because you want them to be nice and browned, but you don't want them to be burnt. So this is going to take, about 2 minutes. And while they are cooking, you look right back here, and it's all ready to go, and so are these balls. So I have to take them out, and you see how beautifully browned they are. Now you don't want to put them in the stock like that. You want to put them on some paper to drain, and you do all of them like this. And for a chicken stock like this, an onion, a carrot, celery, a couple cloves of garlic if you want, a good cut up chicken, water, bay leaf, parsley, let it cook, Strain it, you've got chicken broth. Okay, so then you allow them to cool down. Now sometimes I just serve it plain like that, but other times I like to add spinach. So just fresh spinach, either from the garden or from the grocery store, cleaned and raw. So that's all ready. And then we can serve up our zuppa di bombelline di patate. And I like to do that for you in a really nice, beautiful looking dish. So after your little balls are done, you see how beautiful they look. You want to put about, 6 or 8 in an individual soup bowl, just like that. Remember, they're still warm. And even if they get a little cool, I wouldn't worry about it because you've got hot chicken stock. So now I can turn that off. And let me show you how beautiful that looks. So I bring up some of this beautiful light-tasting chicken stock with the spinach and put it right over the potato balls. Let me get just a little bit more. And look at how beautiful that looks. And if you wanted to, you could give it just a little grating of Parmigiano Reggiano right over the top. Light, delicious, beautiful, and straight from the garden.